when we're creating art, I don't look at it through a faith lens. I just look at it through a creative lens. And maybe perhaps because of my backgrounds and my beliefs, that kind of weighs in on some level, but that absolutely is not the way I come into a project. It just so happens that this was a project about women from the Church of God in Christ. And I was honestly drawn to it because they're from Detroit, and I'm from Detroit. And I just felt like there was something that I could bring, or in terms of service to their storytelling, that I was just compelled to do.
I was raised Baptist. So the way that I knew about the Clark sisters was through one of my best friends when I was a little girl. Her name was Tracy Grady. And Tracy Grady was this incredible singer. And she was raised in the Church of God in Christ. Mm. So she would always talk about the Clark sisters. I mean, she would talk about Dr. Maddie and the conventions that they would go to and the workshops that they would go to. She would always talk, and I was like, that is so fascinating, because they had a way of doing church that was completely different from how we did church, like the level of spirituality, it's that Pentecostal tradition was, even though we was hot in my church, like it was another level. Like I couldn't keep up with how they clapped. They were dancing, to me, it was another experience. So I was fascinated by that. So that was sort of the seed. And then later on, I, became aware of their music beyond You Brought the Sunshine, which is what everybody knows and loves. Right. Right. And they became the soundtrack for my life. Mm-hmm. They got me through hard situations. They were my water in dry places. They were my joy driving over, these bridges in New Orleans, Louisiana. Like all of these memories are ingrained in my brain, and all of them, the musical backdrop for all of that is the Clark sisters. So when I got a letter saying that I had been offered this job, I don't know, I felt it was a little full circle in my mind.